Good morning.
Hey.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm back.
He's back. Roxanne is back behind the camera. First time since US Open qualifying in Albany.
Yeah.
This is fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so today what we're going to do is...
Well, it's tournament day. Quebec PGA one-day event, the Cobra-Puma Championship in Sorel, Quebec. So we've got about just over an hour's drive ahead of us. It's going to be a hot one.
Oh, yeah.
Gonna feel like 44 Celsius, like 109 Fahrenheit. So gonna have to stay hydrated. But yeah,
It's gonna be fun. Yeah.
Let's go have a day.
And let's remind you that you won last year.
I did. I won this event last year. Yes, it was on a different golf course, but I did win this event last year. So technically, I'm going to defend my title.
Yeah.
Which is always nice.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Let's have fun.
Oh yeah.
Hello.
Hello. We're about halfway there, playing at Continental Golf Club today. I didn't get a chance to come up for a practice round. Last time I played this course, I believe it was 2018, so it's been a while. I was able to dig up my notes on it, luckily. It's a very narrow golf course. Studied satellite images. I don't have the impression I'm hitting a lot of drivers today. I think it's going to be a lot of 4-irons off the tee. But anyway, so I kind of get a feel for that out on the course, see how the swing's feeling. In terms of where my game is at, last time you guys saw me play well was in Toronto, the final qualifier for the Canadian Open. I'd struggled a little bit. If you've seen the St. George recap, I really struggled up there. I would have talked about this at the end of the video, that I was just absolutely exhausted after the start of the season. Things have been really hectic. I have managed to rest up a little bit. I am feeling better. I'm in a better place mentally, and that's really what we're trying to focus on here today, is just get back to going out and enjoying the game, enjoying this opportunity that I have, soaking in the moment, not kind of getting a bad bounce and getting frustrated, just focusing on what I can control and having fun. And so almost completely forgot to bring up that on Monday, I cracked my driver head. So I'm using a backup driver head. Now it's not the same specs. The launch conditions are not ideal. It's definitely not set up for distance, but I have been hitting it okay. I've had to adjust a little bit. When I started using it, everything was going pretty hard left, so I've had to adjust a little bit. It's gone okay. Confidence isn't there yet. I'm hoping to get a replacement head soon. Just wasn't able to get one before today. So that's another kind of, we'll see how that goes on the course today.
Subscribe to the channel.
Sounded threatening.
No, but like for fun, because you like it.
Wow, did the tone ever change there? We made it.
We're here.
Yeah.
Bow, bow, bow.
And here we go for the Quebec PGA Cobra-Puma Championship. First hole is a par 5. As you can see, fairly narrow, very tree-lined. Pretty much what we're going to expect for today. This is a 540-yard par 5. Felt like I put a pretty good swing on this drive here. It's well hit, but as I'd mentioned earlier, this driver head tends to go left on me, and that's exactly what this one did. Kind of over the bunkers down the left-hand side there. Not a terrible place, but it means I'm not going to be able to give this one a shot in 2. Got a bit of a downhill lie here. Ball was also sitting down in a bit of a hole. I've just got 9 iron, trying to advance it, trying to put it somewhere around the 100-yard marker. I do advance it. Doesn't come out quite as well as I would have liked, but it's out there. It's in the fairway. I'm going to give myself a wedge in. So I've got 122 yards here for my third shot to a back left flag. Hitting sand wedge. Again, felt like a really good swing here. This one again turned left on me a little bit. See it come down there on the green, spins left into the fringe, but it is pin high. It was a pretty good shot. So I've got a birdie look from the fringe, a little downhill, should turn a little right. Didn't really turn, did burn the edge. Good effort. Went a little further past the hole than I would have liked, but I'm happy that I at least gave that one a run. I'm going to go ahead and clean up for my opening par here. The second hole is a par 4, 394 yards, goes downhill, turns to the right. I'm trying to hit a bit of a cut 4-iron here. Sequencing gets a little bit off. I end up going a little further left than I would have liked, but it's going to work out just fine. That ball finishes in the left rough, 148 yards in to a front right flag. Wind a little off the right. I'm hitting gap wedge. Again, good swing. Tendency for today, as it seems, going a little left. You see it left side of the screen there, just kind of landed in front of the green, spun off. Not too bad though, haven't put myself in trouble. Got a long birdie look from the fringe here, uphill, not much break in it, but this was incredibly slow. The greens were not rolling very fast. You could see that the grass was quite long. It felt like putting on Velcro. Again, I've got work to do for my par here. Put a good stroke on it, clean it up. The third hole is a par 3. You see the water just short and left. They moved the tee box up here, usually 212. Today we were playing it at 161. So I've got 9 iron. Wind is whipping off the right now. I'm aimed well right, and sequencing is off. And I start this thing at the flag and draw it off it. And obviously the wind's going to take that further left. So I end up going long left of the left bunker. So not ideal, and I'm not pleased. So I've got work to do here if I want to save my par. I'm chipping back into the wind luckily, so I throw this up in the air. I landed on my spot, and this thing just never stopped. But considering where I was, it's not a bad shot. I'm quite happy with the execution there. Leaves myself an uphill par look, breaking from right to left, and I just never hit that thing hard enough. Just so slow going up that hill. I'm able to go up, tap in for my bogey. Not the start I was looking for, but not the end of the world. The fourth hole is a 360-yard par 4, uphill, slight dogleg left. Now, I was not planning on hitting driver here, but it was playing straight back into the wind, so I adjusted, decided to hit driver. Hit this one quite well, did go a little left. Left rough, I've got 87 yards in, back into the wind. Got lob wedge. I'm trying to hit just a 90-yard shot. I do not want to go long. I want a birdie look, and I go long. I don't know what's going on in my wedges right now, but my distance control has been awful. My wedges just seem to be going an absolute mile. So chipping from long to the green. Good execution here. Just hit it a little firm. Last thought I had was, okay, the greens are slow, give it some extra. I gave it a little too much extra. Work to do for my par. Again, great putt. Clean up for my par. No damage done. 5 is a 390-yard par 4. It's like a 90-degree dogleg to the right. I'm hitting 5 iron, just trying to go up over the trees, trying to cut off my distance that I'm going to have coming into the green. Did get a little aggressive with it, didn't quite make it back to the fairway, but I do have 156 yards downhill, downwind. This is another gap wedge. At this point, this was like the best swing of the day. I was able to get a bit of a better feel for my swing here. Came down just right of the flag. I've given myself a good birdie look here. It's actually the first green that I hit, so that was also nice.
Let's get that birdie.
Thanks, Roxanne. So slightly uphill, should be turning to my left. At this point, I thought this putt was in, and it just did not take the break that I'd seen. Lips out on the high side, finishes right behind the hole. Missed opportunity, but something to build some confidence off of there. 6 is an awkward par 4. It's 364 yards. You can see the water out there. It's only about 275 to carry, but seeing as my driver goes left, it's a longer carry if you go left. The wind was off the left, so I just hit 6 iron. It's like, you know what, let's just put this in the fairway. Let's not make any silly mistakes here. Had 160 yards coming in here, wind off the left, hit a good 9-iron trying to draw it back into the wind, take a little bit off of it, just pushed it a little to the right, see it come down, perfectly pin high, just a little bit right, pretty solid shot there. Another uphill birdie look here. I think this should turn a little left. Man, did I ever have to hit this thing hard to barely get it past the hole.
Good putt.
Again, good putt. Thanks, Roxanne. I'm able to go up, tap in for my par. At least I'm starting to hit some greens and give myself some birdie looks here. 7's another par 4, 358 yards. Slightly uphill, dog legs right. I'm just hitting hybrid. Get a really good one here, up the right side of the fairway. Good swing, good tempo. The confidence is building here. Got 124 yards here to a back flag, slightly downwind. I'm hitting sand wedge. Pretty good swing again here, pushed it a tiny little bit out to the right, but not going to complain. I've given myself an uphill birdie look, but this pin was like right on the spine. You're going to see how hard this is going to break. And after overreading some putts, I have now underread one, but I mean, that was not a super makeable putt, honestly. You couldn't really tell from this angle how much that broke, but another easy par. We'll take it. Moving on to the par 3 8th hole, which today is playing 145 yards into the wind, middle flag on the left side of the green. I hit a really soft, kind of flighted down 9-iron here just to get it to go through the wind.
Nice.
And I hit a great
Very
shot
nice.
here. It's right on line. Put it about 8 feet past the hole. I'm feeling really good about this one, and this thing just broke off the planet, even though I'd hit it firm. I just could not
that's
believe how much that had turned after having overread a bunch of putts. Oh, missed opportunity there. I'm able to clean up for my par. We are 1 over still through 8, heading on to the par 5 9th hole. Now, they'd moved the tees up on 9, usually 560. Today it was 505. Look at that tee shot. I mean, if you draw the ball, it's just a nightmare to look at. Now, I do draw the ball. I'm trying to cut it. And I just kind of double-crossed it, hit a little off the toe, went way left. I'm actually now back on the first hole. And my best option is to chip a wedge down the first fairway towards the tee box, because getting back onto the 9th hole is no easy shot. So I do that, chip back down the fairway up towards the water, leave myself 178 yards here. Pin is kind of front right. I'm hitting 8-iron. Not the best sequencing. Did hit it fairly well, but it just went a little left on me, so this ends up kind of more back left of the green. So all things considered, I'm on the green. We'll take it, but I've got a long birdie look here. Again, really nice putt here. Good line.
Oh, wow.
Great pace control.
Good putt.
From that distance, anytime you can just kind of like walk up and tap it in, you will take that.
Company, you know.
Yeah, the guys here were joking that I didn't enjoy playing with them, and that's why I'd gone down the first hole.
It's not you guys, I'm more of a loner.
On to the 10th hole. The 10th hole is a short par 4, 334 yards. Now, it goes right, my driver goes left, so I'm just hitting 5-iron here. Put it out in the fairway, just want to give myself a wedge. Don't want to do anything silly here. I do just that. I've got 108 yards to this back flag, slightly downwind, so I'm hitting a soft lob wedge, and when I hit this thing, I thought it was going to be absolutely perfect. Like, I'm licking my chops, and it airmails the green. So again, the wedge distance, very questionable. Roxanne thought it was a good shot until she saw my reaction. So I've got a long birdie look from the back fringe here, downhill, turning a little to the right. Now it kind of jumped right as it came out of the fringe. I also did give it a little too much pace, but wanted to give it a run. But I've got some work to do for my par here. Uphill, turning right to left. Another great putt. Another par. 11's a par 3, playing 196 yards. You can see the flag on the kind of right middle of the green there. I've got 7-iron. Again, very poor sequencing. Another full Hideki on the follow through. This thing finished about pin high, but well left off the left side of the green. Just bounced off of that mound that we see there. So I've got a chip. I've got green to work with. I don't have the best lie. Got my gap wedge out here, and I just couldn't really commit. I wasn't very comfortable. I kind of decelled and backed out of it, so not great contact. Leave myself a lot of work for par here, as we will see there. I want to make this. Birdies seem to be hard for me to make right now, so I cannot afford to be making too many bogeys. I do hit a great putt here.
Nice putt.
That is a big par save given the circumstances. 12 is another par 4, incredibly narrow, 390 yards, very straight away. I'm hitting hybrid. Really no point in me hitting driver here at this point. Put a great swing on this. Really, really good tempo on that one. I actually allowed myself to finish my backswing. This leaves me 90 yards in, so I'm hitting lob wedge, and I felt like I'd hit this thing so soft, considering how far my wedges have been going, and I managed to get the distance right. That was a nice wedge shot. Giving myself a really good look at birdie there. About 8 feet, going uphill, should turn slightly left, and this thing just like snapped left, which I couldn't believe. I'd just seen one of my playing partners putt on the same line, and his didn't turn at all. So, missed opportunity, but it is a par. 13 is a par 3, playing 181 yards today, a little downwind. I'm hitting a 9-iron, and I just, again, sequencing, hit a little thin, goes a little left. Not a terrible miss. I mean, I'm on the green, but it's just obviously not the proximity I am looking for. Another good roll here. This is a really solid effort considering the distance I had. Just a slight overread. Put it just past the hole. But I'm able to go up, clean up for my par, and move on. The 14th hole is a par 4, just under 400 yards. This is actually a fairly wide hole on this golf course, so I was comfortable hitting driver here, and thank God it's wide, because again, this was one that went left. Now there's tons of space out there. I knew that when I hit the tee shot. I've actually got a really good angle, but my ball's sitting down in some kind of really wiry grass, so I've got 84 yards, but really my only option was to try and like chunk a wedge out of that lie, land it on the front of the green, and run it up, which I really don't feel like I could have done any better there. Give myself about 10 or 11 feet here, slightly uphill for birdie, and
yes,
hey, we actually made a birdie. I mean, it's about time, but better late than never. We'll take it. So we are back to even par through 14 holes, and I want to put my foot on the gas here. I know I've got 4 holes left. I can make some birdies. I can climb up the leaderboard here, but we got to start with this really tough tee shot on the 15th, a par 5. And you just have nothing to look at here. I almost didn't hit driver because everything down the left is hazard, and as you've seen, my driver was going left. I ended up hitting a brilliant tee shot here. Left myself 241 yards, again, up the hill to a front right flag. So I'm hitting 4-iron. I do not want to go long. Figured if I hit a really good 4-iron, it'll creep onto the green. If not, I leave it just short with a makeable up and down. And that's what I do. I leave it just short left. But I've got some green to work with. Just got to kind of pitch this up in the air, let it land. I actually was thinking of holding this, and when I hit it, I thought I'd given it a chance, and it just kicked really hard left for some reason. Anyways, not the result I was looking for, but I've left myself again about 8 feet for birdie, and I'm able to roll this one in as well.
That's it.
The putter has been feeling really good recently. 16 is a 380-yard par 4. Dog legs really hard to the left. I'm hitting 5-iron. I mean, I could maybe have hit 4-iron, but risk going through the fairway, but that's about as much as I can hit there. Leave myself 168 yards here to a back left flag. I've got 9-iron, it's a little into the wind. I'm just trying to hit a draw to that back flag, and it just didn't turn. I just kind of pushed it out to the right. Really well hit. I really like the swing. It just didn't have the movement, but I've now left myself probably a 60-foot birdie putt, I would have to imagine. Now I'm thinking birdies. Now I want a 2-putt from here, obviously, but I also want to make this putt, and I gave it an awesome chance. Just missed on the highest side, finished right behind the hole. Now this finished so close that I was able to tap it in. Roxanne stopped recording, so we don't have that on video, but you just got to trust me. 17 is a 375-yard par 4. Incredibly narrow. I'm hitting 4-iron off the tee. Unfortunately, I do miss this one a little bit left. It catches some branches, but does fall straight down. So that leaves me 190 yards in to a front or kind of middle right flag. I'm hitting 8-iron. We've got wind off the right, and I do have some tree trouble, so I've got to try and kind of, I wouldn't say hook, but hit a heavy draw here to get it around those branches. Pretty good execution. Unfortunately, did not draw enough. If that had drawn another 2 or 3 yards, would have kicked up onto the green, given myself a birdie putt. Instead, I have this chip from short right, and again, I'm thinking of holding this, and that's a pretty good effort from there.
So
I mean, I'm not going to complain. Would have loved it if it had gone in, but the alternative being that I can just walk up and tap it in. Never going to complain there. So 1 under par through 17 holes. We have a par 5 to finish. Now, they'd moved the tees up. This was playing just over 540 yards. Again, look at this tee shot. I mean, if you draw the ball, this is just a nightmare. So I'm trying to go just right at that bunker. It did draw me just a bit. Ends up landing right in the bunker. So I've got 240 yards in. You can see the flag there, that red flag. So I'm trying to hit a 140-yard shot here with my pitching wedge, but I have to hook it. If it doesn't hook, I will go through the fairway into the trees on the other side. So this is like full commitment coming out of the fairway bunker here. Again, great execution. Hit it great, started it on my line, threw it around the corner, and hit the exact yardage I was looking for. I wanted to give myself 100 yards in. I had 99 yards in, so very happy there. Now, distance control has been an issue, and I just could not commit to this shot here. Trying to hit sand wedge slightly into wind from 100 yards, and I just hit it a little heavy, which was really unfortunate. Finished just short of the green, but I'm chipping back up the slope here. Got my lob wedge out again, thinking of holding it. Another great effort. Just miss it on the high side of the hole, but leave myself a very makeable par putt. So I'm going to go ahead, get set up, clean up for my par, and a 1 under par finish on what was a bit of a weird day, but a pretty good battle. Not going to lie. I'm pretty happy with the grind out there today.
Alright guys, just quickly before we get into breaking down that round, if you've made it this far into the video and you haven't already, please do me a very small favor, hit that subscribe button. It's free for you, but it helps me out a great deal. Also, if you've made it this far, I imagine you're enjoying the content, so why not go ahead and just hit that like button. That's going to help other people find the video, and the more people find the video, the more the channel grows, the more content I can get out to you guys. So breaking down the day, that 1 under par round actually put me in a tie for 6th overall. Not a bad finish, especially considering I really didn't feel like I had my best stuff. Made about 630 bucks, which is, it's all right for a one-day event. And now, though there were clearly moments of frustration on the golf course today, I'm really proud of my patience out there. It could have been very easy, having not made a birdie till the 14th hole, to have kind of veered away from the game plan and gotten more aggressive and made some silly mistakes, but I just kind of stayed the course and trusted the plan. And now obviously I didn't make as many birdies as I would have liked, but if we go back and think about the way I hit the ball, which was not fantastic, the fact that I only made 1 bogey is actually quite impressive to me, and really is just a testament to my short game and specifically my putting. Putting continues to be the strongest part of my game right now, and I mean, I hope it stays that way. I just hope that the ball striking just gets a little bit better than it has been. There were a lot of good quality shots out there today, but the misses are just a little too big right now. And yes, I only made 1 bogey today, but a number of those misses really could have cost me. So I mean, I'm working tirelessly right now, trying to figure out what's causing them and trying to eradicate it as much as possible. I mean, I'm not looking for perfection. That's a completely unrealistic expectation, but I just want to take my window of misses from like that wide to somewhere around here would be a little more accessible, make the rounds a little less stressful. And the other thing that I have to work out is my wedge distance control. I talked about it a few times in the voiceover. I mean, it is just absurd how far my wedges are going right now. By far hitting them the furthest I ever have, which on the surface might sound great, but if I'm expecting a shot to go 90 yards and it goes 105, I mean, that's a problem. And in fact is also very frustrating, because if I put myself in a situation where I have a wedge in, I want to give myself some kind of birdie opportunity. I mean, I'm not expecting to stick it 3 feet all the time. That also would be unrealistic. Just give myself some kind of reasonable chance for birdie. And too many times today I had wedges in my hands and I ended up fighting to make par. So if you've seen the last tournament recap, I talked about the exhaustion that I've been dealing with. That is getting better. I'm doing a better job of managing my schedule, giving myself more time to rest, more time to sleep, while still juggling, tournament golf practice, giving lessons, and putting content out for the YouTube channel. It's a fine balance. It's a bit of a juggling act, but I'm figuring it out. I am feeling better, though definitely not at 100% yet. It's still a work in progress. But playing through the heat that we dealt with today, if I'd been in the same state that I was in the previous week, I don't think there's any chance that I can put together the round that I put together today. I mean, it was hot. And it does get hot up here, but we just haven't had hot days like that yet. So we're just not really acclimatized to it at this point. I remember at one point, Roxanne asked me how I was feeling in the heat. And, I told her I was doing a really good job of staying hydrated. So I was feeling pretty good. I remember telling her, I was like, I literally feel like I've taken a shower and put a t-shirt on before drying myself off. I was just soaking wet. It was pretty gross. So all in all, pretty good day, all things considered. Obviously not the best round of my life, but it's a good bounce back from the previous tournament that I'd played. And I really feel like it's something that I can build on. I've got a little bit of time to continue working on my game, specifically the ball striking, before my next tournament. I'm spending a bit of time working with my coach. And I've mentioned it in the previous video. It really just comes down to sequencing. And I'm getting a much better feel for it in practice. It just doesn't always translate onto the golf course right away. So right now for me, it's just being patient, trusting the process, putting in the reps, so that by the time my next tournament comes around, ideally I'm not really gonna have to think about it that much on course. It'll just be the way that I kind of swing and move. Anyways, that's a wrap for this one. Again, if you've enjoyed the content, like the video, subscribe to the channel, leave me a comment down below, and I'll see you guys again next week with another video. Cheers, guys.